This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Hello and welcome. You're watching News Tonight. Breaking news coming in. Vaiko has been stunned after NDTV Hindu posed him questions about L. Padmanabhan's allegations that he in fact played a role in halting the ceasefire between the LTTE and the Sri Lankan army, which effectively cost the lives of thousands of innocent Tamil civilians. Let's in fact listen into what Vaiko had to tell. Our reporter Pratiksha Ramakumar did not in fact tell what she asked him. Let's listen into Vaiko.
No, sir, Mr. Padmanabhan has said that you were a main cause of, the ceasefire not happening. Do you have anything to say on it, sir? Padmanabhan says that...
Well, that was Vaiko there. In fact, you saw him on the screen there of yours awaiting direct questions. Let's in fact just listen in again to him how he awaited the questions in fact that were posed to him. Very serious allegations there made by the LTT top brass. He has been evasive on him, and when the television cameras in fact today were trained on him, when the uncomfortable question was posed, Vaiko obviously stunned into silence, in fact made a quick dash into his car. Let's just listen in again to what Vaiko had to say, in fact put in a very uncomfortable position by those questions on his role in the death of thousands of innocent Tamil civilians when he in fact did not let the ceasefire between LTT and the Lankan army happen.
Padmanabhan said that you were a main cause of, the ceasefire not happening. Do you have anything to say on it, sir? Padmanabhan says that...
Well, let's go across now to Peer Mohammed, who joins us live from the newsroom. Peer, a very evasive Vaiko there, in fact stunned by the posers that were put to him on Padmanabhan. Not an issue he was really comfortable with, but the clearly hands-off approach symbolizes that he in fact was caught really unaware by the reporter there.
Yes, Manish, no, it's quite a difficult question for MDMK chief Vaiko at this point of time. When Kumaran Padmanabhan made these allegations to a Sri Lankan daily newspaper, he was not in Chennai, and he was touring Namakkal and other areas, and he was in responding to Kumaran Padmanabhan's allegations. But later, a few days ago, he came out with a statement, denying all the allegations made by Kumaran Padmanabhan, and also saying that Kumaran Padmanabhan is a traitor to the LTT movement, and saying that the other leaders were manning the LTT network, and he is not the right guy. He is not representing the global Tamils. And today, that when he came back to Chennai, NDTV Hindu was there, and they when we put the question to him and he couldn't face the camera, he was walking off, not answering the questions, because already Chief Minister and DMK Chief Karunanidhi had raised the same questions. And in fact, in a statement which he made immediately after Kumaran Padmanabhan made these statements to the Sri Lankan newspaper, DMK chief also endorsed the views of Kumaran Padmanabhan and said, why is Vaiko or the other leaders, the left party leaders who stopped the LTT from agreeing to a ceasefire. No, the draft was given by the Indian government, on behalf of the Indian government, by the Union Home Minister P. Chidambaram. And for that, Vaiko was not responding, and he was avoiding this because it's a big embarrassing question. This could probably snowball into a big setback for him. Yeah, Manish.
What next for Vaiko now? Of course, he has been evasive here, but he will have to get in terms with the reality of that decision of his, of that manipulation of his, if it in fact is proved. Right now, of course, as you did point out, Peer, earlier, that of course the man who made the allegation now is a close aide of Rajapakse. But however, that does not take anything away from the seriousness of this allegation, which effectively could have cost the lives of thousands of Lankan Tamils during the war.
Yes, Manish, this could become a talking point ahead of the 2011 assembly elections in Tamil Nadu, particularly when Chief Minister is trying to say that, he is a guardian of Tamils, and, he wants to retrieve his image of being pro-Tamil, particularly ahead of the 2009 general elections. Karunanidhi was accused of, being anti-Tamil and colluding with the Indian state and the Sri Lankan state in annihilating Tamils. That is still remaining as a big scar on him. Karunanidhi might use this opportunity to put down these opponents, political opponents who are calling him anti-Tamil. If you see the series of meetings Karunanidhi had with P. Chidambaram and Nirupama Rao, our foreign secretary, on the Lankan Tamil rehabilitation issue. Also, the DMK's recent meeting, they passed resolutions in favor of rehabilitating Tamils in Sri Lanka, and also they are trying to get back to it is a kind of image makeover for the DMK. This might help the ruling DMK in a big way if they are again using this, and we have to wait and see if that tide turns in favor of the ruling DMK in this case.
In fact, P, the way you said, in fact, that it would snowball into a major controversy and embarrassment, that probably explains Waiko's behavior today. Let's in fact again see how evasive Waiko was on this question, which could have been a serious embarrassment.
No, sir, Mr. Padmanabhan has said that you were a main cause of, the ceasefire not happening. Do you have anything to say on it, sir? Padmanabhan says that...
Right, everyone's looking out for allies now. Peer, if you can hear me again, we are being joined by Peer again. Peer, you can. In fact, now he is looking out for allies. Now, his platform till now has been that of a vociferous LTT supporter. Now, if these allegations do in fact come true, exposes the true double side of what Waiko has been indulging in. Now, how serious will that pan out, especially given the fact that already hardcore politicking has begun for the upcoming assembly polls next year?
Yes, Manish, everything depends on how Waiko is taking it forward. When I spoke to one of his secretaries a while ago about this particular refusal of him to speak to NDTV on this issue, his secretary said maybe our leader will be able to make a public comment tomorrow because it was a iftar event and he was giving all kinds of excuses. But if Waiko is coming clean on this particular issue, without being evasive, then he might be saved in this, particularly because the ruling DMK is trying to regain its hold on Sri Lankan Tamil issue. Unless Waiko comes clean on this particular issue, definitely it is going to be a setback for him and his other friends like Palanadu Moran and the left parties who are also allegedly involved in mediation between the Tigers and the Indian government at that time.
Right, Peer Mohammed, thanks a lot there for joining us live, of course, the big story here, and also thanks to Pratiksha Ramakumar, of course, who put Waiko in a spot there. Of course, these are difficult questions which he will have to answer in the race to the elections, especially since the fact that he is one person who's been spearheading the entire Lankan Tamil issue in the state with others like Tiruma Vallavan. But this double side, if it does in fact come true, and an indication of that, of course, was the kind of evasion that was on display today, would be a major embarrassment for Waiko and all those associated with him, all those he would want to ally with. Moving on now to the other big story, tells you in fact, we'll tell you the entire story in one picture. This is the other big story, of course. This is the political picture of the day. Now, it's not Waiko, it's not anyone else, it's Vijaykanth and PMK's Ramadas. One man who says he won't go with the DMK, the other says he'll go it alone in the assembly elections starting next year. Two parties, two agendas, but several political interests. Now, we'll start, of course, with the man in question, Vijaykanth. Now, DMDK's chief Vijaykanth has said joining the DMK as an alliance is out of the question. Now, this was said at Villupuram in a party function where the actor turned leader ruled out any chances of allying with the ruling DMK. DMDK Supremo Vijaykanth said what he wanted was that he would ally with anyone who the people vote to power. Now, at one hand, he said that he would not ally with either the DMK or the AIADMK. And then, of course, given the possibility that any of these Dravidian biggies might be voted to power, Vijaykanth's statement, in fact, is a contradiction in itself. Let's, in fact, listen in to what Vijaykanth also had to say. Well, of course, the other man apart from Vijaykanth is PMK founder President Ramadas. Now, he said that the PMK would contest 100 assembly constituencies on its own. So, all the dilly-dallying with the DMK has come to naught, with over 1/5 of the seats being contested by PMK on its own. Now, the reason for that, of course, is the caste factor. In Ramadas's own words, his calculations are that if the Vanyars belonging to various political parties vote for the PMK, the party can easily win in all the 100 constituencies. A caste factor, of course, coming into play. All issues that concern the common man for these two other players, apart from the Dravidian biggies, coming to a naught with statements by Ramadas which clearly says that caste calculations and, of course, other expedient interests dominate his political calculations as of now. So no DMK, AIDMK for this man as well, clearly symbolizing that in the run-up to the assembly polls in Tamil Nadu, what we're going to see is people's issues being put on the back burner. Too early to say that, of course, but indications, as we told you right now, as we showed you right now, are definitely ripe. Now, another to a special report now. When you swipe your debit card, you may be clueless of what can befall on you. You can be conned and your card can be cloned. NDTV Hindu decided to expose this for the first time in Indian television history, how debit card cloning can assume threatening proportions. Now, let's just remind you that this report is being broadcast in public interest. Well, a debit card is something which has become a necessity these days, something which you use for buying that high-end clothing line of yours to the grocery next door. Now, with the proliferation of these cards, of course, come the added security risks associated with them. Now, today what we're going to see is how I clone this card. This is my friend's card. I'm going to clone this card on a blank card which you can ship from anywhere in the world. And to help us understand how this security threat can affect you, is going to be Vinod, who of course works with InfiSec. He's an ethical hacker and one of the best known, in fact, security experts in the IT field. So Vinod, how do we go about this?
Thank you, Manish. And today I'm going to discuss about how a magnetic card like this, magnetic card, it can either be a debit card or a credit card, which has all track 1, track 2 and track 3. All I'm going to do is copy a credit or a debit card to another card, which is a dummy card and has nothing more than, but it's being empty. Right? All it has is again track 1, track 2 and track 3.
And how do you go about this?
Yeah,
what do you need for this?
For doing this, all I need is a card reader writer as well as a laptop. That's it.
Card reader writer and a laptop is all that you need for this.
That's it. We are set.
So which means anyone exactly can do this in their home.
Exactly, which can be portable and it can even become a pocket size with time.
So are we ready?
We are doing.
Please do not try this at home. In this report being broadcast in public interest, watch this card reading machine, which reads the magnetic tape on your debit card. The software already loaded on the computer. One swipe and the information on the magnetic tape is loaded on the computer. Once the data from the original card is loaded, the blank card is inserted. Just like you copy a CD or a DVD through a writer on your computer, the information of the original card gets copied on the blank card. All this only with this, a card reader and a laptop. So we know that we're done. What do we have here?
Now we have an exact same copy of this card to this.
So what do you mean to say
we can typically use this card in all the places where you can typically use this card.
So can I try it out?
Yeah, please
making
do.
a payment out of that?
Yeah, please do.
Do I really need that?
You do not need this card anymore.
So I can make a payment for whatever I have with this. So let's try it out. So here we are already. This is the card that I actually copied, and let's see if this actually works. So does this really work? Shockingly, it does. The payment is accepted. The con job is done. The clone works. India has reasons to worry. The number of debit card users in the country has shot up to an astounding 150 million. In the West, cheating this way is quite common, with even waiters at coffee houses with swiping machines on the lookout for inattentive customers. So how can you be safe?
People need to be aware on what exactly they are doing. Then they need to make sure when they give their credit card or a debit card to a vendor for swiping it, they or he must be very clear on giving the card, and the vicinity of the person who takes the card should be within his eyes, right? He should not lose the vicinity of the person who is going to swipe the card. And more importantly, you need to check your credit card or debit card statements regularly and make sure that your accounts are not debited with any money or so.
Movie theaters, pizza outlets, malls, even online shopping. One bad transaction can ruin you. NDTV Hindu has brought out this report in public interest so that you can be safe from elements who can take you for a ride with just one swipe. One swipe that can change your life for the worse. Sai Manish for NDTV Hindu. Well, from debit cards to, of course, something else that could bother you in the tech world. Now, do you often receive suspicious emails like I do? Well, something like you've just won a lottery. Well, here's a report which suggests what you need to do in such cases. The police say they have registered 10 cases in just last week in connection to their latest headache called phishing.
Is your inbox familiar with these messages? Because the email would say it is authentic and certified by a foreign country's government or even a deputy prime minister. They will then be followed by requests of money for certain processing charges. Now Satya, like many others, was tempted to reply because of the many thousands of rupees promised as salary.
சர்வீஸ் சார்ஜாக 49,000 ரூபா நீங்கள் கட்ட சொன்னாங்க. அதை வந்து 28/2009 கட்டிட்டேன். அதுக்கு அடுத்து வந்து கட்டி முடித்த உடனே ஃபாரின் கரன்சி டேக்ஸ் என்று ஒன்று புதுசாக கொண்டு சொன்னாங்க. அது வந்து 1,56,000 ரூபா கட்ட சொன்னாங்க. அதையும் கட்டியாச்சு. அது கட்டி முடித்த உடனே மறுபடியும் வந்து என்ன பண்ணாங்க, 7,83,000 ரூபா இது கஸ்டம்ஸ் டேக்ஸ்னு போட்டாங்க.
Satya obediently paid all that was asked for. He was then delivered a sealed box with supposedly camouflaged dollar notes. It was then that he finally got suspicious and approached the police, who on investigations found it to be a huge scam by this Nigerian. At least 10 such cases have been reported in just the last 2 weeks.
It is located in Nigeria or South Africa or some other in Kenya or UK. So it's very difficult to our Indian police or Tamil Nadu police to trace the fellow in Nigeria or South Africa.
இப்போ வந்து எனக்கு 15 லட்சம் ரூபா கடன் இருக்குங்க. அதை நான் தொடர்ந்து வட்டி கட்டி வரேன். என்னால் பே பண்ண முடியல.
The network is vast and well organized that your hard-earned money gets transferred within seconds. The police are trying to track the many Nigerians in the city who have been living illegally. So remember, each time you receive a mail or a message such as this, you should turn a doubting Thomas. In Chennai with Pratiksha, this is Ashmit Kumar for NDTV Hindu.
So therefore, a lot beyond the realm of the normal world, beyond the realm of the tangible that you need to be careful about. And Mr. S. Jayakumar from the Cybercrime Bureau tells us the golden rule about such lottery mails: if you haven't invested anywhere, you surely aren't going to get any miracle returns. Here's his advice, in fact, on what not to do when you receive such mails.
It is not dangerous to open the message. Whenever you receive any emails or SMS, you can open the message. Open the message and see the content and don't respond it once because it is a phishing actually. Yes. Just there without you are buying a lottery ticket or without investing any money.
Yes.
If they are telling you are won this much lottery, mean how we can believe it?
Yes.
So just you forget it. SMS or email. No, recent times we are receiving lot of complaint about this phishing and this debit card frauds and all.
So of course the bottom line is just close your eyes to any mail you think you shouldn't be opening. Now, after NDTV Hindu broke the story of how question papers of the Madras University were leaked before the start of the examination, the university authorities have now come out with a quick fix solution to prevent any such malpractices in the future. NDTV Hindu's Krishnamurthy brings you this report.
One of the biggest malpractices exposed by NDTV Hindu Question papers of the Madras University being sold for a mere sum of 2,000 rupees. Now, in order to set things straight, the university has come up with an innovative solution. The authorities have directed that the question papers will now be emailed to colleges half an hour before the start of the exam. The Vice-Chancellor says this order will be in force with immediate effect starting from November.
We have a lot of confidence over present technology available with us, which will certainly help the colleges, and where the examinations are being conducted, they will ensure the safety and security of all the materials connection with the examination as well. Above all, and it will certainly ensure the confidentiality.
The authorities hope that this foolproof method will end the malpractice, but will it be effective enough? Bureau Report, NDTV Hindu.
Well, time for us to slip into a very short break. Up on the other side, Chidambaram stands a lonely man in the face of opposition, not just from the BJP, but also his own party. Stay with us.